Hello, everyone. Walk Hill, Bethel Light, and Serenity here. And I want to get Serenity's live reaction to a video I found on YouTube. Now, this guy's not a Jehovah's Witness, not a former Jehovah's Witness, but some of the terms and the terminology that he uses, a person who was a Jehovah's Witness might find familiar. So we're going to find out what's this connection to Watchtower and the spiritistic things he's going to talk about. And we'll also get Serenity's live reaction. She hadn't seen this at all. So let's get ready to watch it, and let's get ready to see what Serenity thinks about this here. It says that Enochian magical system explained. I don't know if you guys can see that.
So what is this Enochian system actually supposed to do? What are the different components of it, practically speaking, and what is each part of the system supposed to achieve? Well, from what we know, from what's come down to us, there's really a few different operations that you can perform using the tools and the invocations of the Enochian system. The first one that I'll mention is the most important. This is the Gebethel ritual. Using the Book of Lower Gaiath, a book of knowledge that was received from the angels by D. and Kelly, and by using the 48 calls, you're supposed to be able to unlock the mysteries of the universe, gain knowledge into the most holy and sacred mysteries of life. And Dee and Kelly were told by the angels that essentially by performing this Gebethel ritual over 49 days, that they would receive the original wisdom of Enoch, and that the wisdom that they received would in fact be compiled into a new holy book, which would restore the true religion to humankind before the apocalypse happened. And the angels indicated that the reception of this holy book was a herald of the end times, that the world as it was being brought to an end in preparation for a new heaven and new earth, and that the knowledge that was given from this holy book of Enoch by the angels using the operation in the Gebethel ritual would be used to gather in the faithful remnant who could establish God's kingdom on earth. So that's very heavy, and it's very eschatological, and it's another example of how Dee's faith and his theology interplayed so much with his magical workings. You simply cannot understand the Enochian system without situating it in the context in which Dee was using it, which was very much a Christian context, despite the fact that Christianity is so often so critical of any kind of magic. But there were other elements to the Enochian system. You had the 30 ethers, and basically the 30 ethers represented different levels where different angels resided. The Enochian system, through the calls of the ethers, allows you to contact these angels, which had power over different parts of the earth, so you could influence world events in different parts of the earth. You've got the Great Table of the Watchtowers, which is another part of the Enochian system. This is another table with its own set of Enochian words, its own angelic names in it. And if you decipher certain angelic names from the table, you can use those angelic names to get the angels to perform certain things for you depending on what their office is. This is your run-of-the-mill medieval practical magic. So, you know, there are angels for things like moving something from one location to another, having power over illnesses and sicknesses, being able to give the knowledge of metals. You know, all of the things that were considered really cool back in medieval times. Not so much now.
So far, he's talking about a mix of Christianity, and I would call this a cult. You're talking about Enochian magic, a mix of Christianity and Enochian magic. Essentially, Christians using Enochian magic in order to contact angels. And he mentions Watchtower. Now, he mentions the word Watchtower. He also mentions the word faithful remnant. He also mentions establishing the true religion on earth before the end comes. He's mentioning all this stuff that if you're a Jehovah's Witness, you are like, what in the world? If you're a Jehovah's Witness, you would easily be able to understand some of what he's saying, even if you're not into Enochian magic at all. You'll understand some of what he's saying. The concepts. So if you're a Jehovah's Witness, you darn near could become a practitioner of Enochian magic. Now, why is that? Now, let's just get, what do you think so far of him using terminology and to flat out use the word Watchtower, which is the whole name of the judicial branch of Jehovah's Witnesses? What do you think about all that?
I mean, everything, a lot of these religions and whatnot do come from the same root, so it's not surprising. Why would they not have certain terms used? And even theories.
Right, but this is Enochian magic, so how would Enochian magic, the term Watchtower, because you mentioned there's terms that a lot of religions use. Well, the interesting thing about this is Baptists don't use the word Watchtower. Catholics, to my knowledge, don't use the word Watchtower. I was about to say Baptists. Most Christian religions don't use the word Watchtower. But once you start looking into things like Enochian magic and the Order of the Golden Dawn, once you start looking into the occult, you're going to see the word Watchtower a lot. So does that mean the roots of Watchtower, the roots of this religion that is saying that some angel is telling them that it's going to start using them as its representative, is the roots of Watchtower essentially occult? Let me use this real quick. Because I was talking about the Golden Dawn, and the Golden Dawn, I believe, uses Watchtower as well, the term Watchtower. So Watchtower has a whole lot more in common with these small occult groups than it does anywhere else. You don't see too many churches called Watchtower. You don't see the term at all. So a Christian, and he's talking about stuff going way back. So this would be something that would be somewhat common knowledge to Charles Taze Russell and Rutherford and all these people. Now let me go to the search engine and let me look up Watchtower. Because again, why would Jehovah use the term Watchtower if it is widely used with occults or people that practice magic? Let me look up Watchtower and let me see. So once I look up, let's see. So one Reddit post is talking about Watchtower. Let's see. And they're talking about Wicca. So he's talking about Enochian magic and flat out used the term Watchtower as being involved with spells and the sort. And then this person on Reddit is not a Jehovah's Witness to my knowledge. And they practice Wicca. And one of the comments from these people that practice Wicca, it says, a cursory search in my occult texts seems to indicate that Watchtower are associated with Enochian tablets. So this is a whole nother group. These are just all occult people. And in their normal conversation, the term Watchtower keeps coming up. It says it's associated with Enochian tablets and that this is something stemming from the Golden Dawn tradition. The Golden Dawn is not, to my knowledge, an Enochian group. It's not Wicca. The Golden Dawn is a whole nother group itself. So that's a third group. All of them talking about the term Watchtower. It's saying it's stemming from the Golden Dawn tradition and not Wicca. And let's see. They're saying a watchtower is more so referring to a guardian or invoking a magical circle. I mean, all this stuff. Why would Jehovah's Witnesses not practice Christmas, right? Because they're saying it's rooted way back in something that wasn't Christian. If it's tied to anything that's not Christian, you're not allowed to celebrate it, even though it has nothing to do with those things today. A person that's celebrating Christmas, most likely a kid, is just wanting some presents. And he may watch some cartoons about Santa Claus. But doesn't Christmas have something to do with the solstice or something like that?
It does.
But do kids... So even if a kid has no knowledge of that, a Jehovah's Witness would not let their children practice Christmas because it has some connection to it in the past. The whole name of the religion, Watchtower, is connected to darn near every occult thing. Let's get out of this. Let me back out of this because we're talking about Enochian magic is using the term Watchtower, the Golden Dawn, Wicca. Let me just go to this. If you go to Google, you can Google the term, just the term Watchtower and put in next to that magic. Watchtower magic. And you got Wikipedia pops up. A whole lot of other research. There's tons of research we can do, but Wikipedia, right off the top, has an article on Watchtower magic. And it says a watchtower or guardian in ceremonial magical tradition. So this is a part of magic tradition, just like Christmas has some segment of what Watchtower would call pagan tradition, and they don't want nothing to do with that. The same with just about every other holiday. Well, the whole name of their religion is steeped in magical tradition. It says it's a tutelary. What's this word here? Let's have a more educated person read this here. Tutelary. Yeah. Tutelary spirit of one of the four cardinal points or the archangels. One of the archangels listed here is Michael. Don't Jehovah's Witnesses try to swap Jesus with Michael. They're praying in the name of Michael, essentially. They're saying when they say Jesus, they mean Michael. Why is there so many connections to Watchtower when you get into the occult? Not just the term Watchtower. He's using faithful remnant and all kinds of things like that, bringing about the end of the world, all this stuff. All of it is Watchtower. So if you're a Baptist, you don't feel a connection to Watchtower. It seems foreign. If you're a Jehovah's Witness, more than likely you have issues going to a different church or a different religion, because it's so darn foreign. You go into a Catholic church, you don't know what on earth is going on, even though you've been part of a religion your whole life. You go into a Baptist church, you just, what in the world is going on? Pentecostal, none of them feel similar to Watchtower. If you get into magic and the occult, you're going to feel comfortable. So essentially, probably most Jehovah's Witnesses could just as easily get into an occult group like the Golden Dawn and whatnot, and join that and start practicing Enochian magic, and would recognize the terminology more so than they would recognize it in any Christian church. The Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn is listed. Are you interested in any of that sort of stuff? What do you think about all that? About the Golden Dawn and about Enochian magic, and has any of that ever sparked your interest in your researches or anything like that? No? Not at all. So, to me, this is interesting because the rabbit hole is a lot deeper. I'm not going to hold Serenity on here very much longer, but the rabbit hole is a lot deeper. So we got the Golden Dawn, we got Wicca, we got an Enochian magic practitioner here talking about the Enochian magical system, and is talking all these Watchtower terms about getting the knowledge of angels, bringing them the knowledge of this and that. And doesn't Watchtower think they know everything? Like they have to have the answer to everything, and 9 times out of 10 it's wrong, but they feel dogmatic about everything. Why? Why were they calling it a channel to something for so long before they just scrapped the term? All this stuff to me is connected. It's all connected. And it makes sense that the terms Watchtower uses, Watchtower is just not something that a Christian would name their church or even think about when they're thinking about Christianity. But Russell was into a lot of things. Pyramidology. He was into a lot of things that your average Christian would not be. And it just so happens that the name of this whole cult organization, Watchtower, that term is used a whole lot. Somebody else did a video and showed a watchtower on a tarot card. It don't make sense to me that Jehovah's Witnesses are like, we don't have nothing to do with nothing pagan, and the whole name of the whole dadgum religion is steeped in magic, paganism, tarot cards, all kinds of stuff. I'm not saying that stuff is bad. I'm just saying that that's the stuff that they say they have nothing to do with. So
I'm sorry, I have no words.
If you've nothing to add, if you've nothing to add, then that is fine. But let me see if I can find the name of this channel, just in case people want to do a little bit more. Yeah, the name of his channel on YouTube is Lifting the Lamp. So if you watch that, let me show them which video this is, what it looks like. The scary looking one right here with all the images and angels and whatever that is on top and all that stuff. That's the one. where he's using the term Watchtower and all that stuff. It gets into a whole lot of other things and tarot cards and all that stuff. And these are the circles that the term Watchtower is used regularly in. So a Jehovah's Witness wouldn't even know that the whole name of their religion indicates, in my opinion, that the people who originated it were in these circles as to how they even came up with that name and why the name was so important to name the whole religion, the whole organization of Watchtower. Let me see. Yep, lifting the lamp. So that is all for now. For the
Hi everyone, welcome back to Live.
Now the thing won't stop coming on. See, the TV is haunted now. Things coming on by itself. That's it for the live reaction. Serenity hasn't seen it before. She has no words for the buffoonery. Comment down below. Let me know.
That's why I didn't comment.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, this is...
Well, then that can be your comment. If you don't like it.
It's not about not liking it. It's like... I don't even know how to explain it.
Mm-hmm.
Simple stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, but it, for whatever reason, is Jehovah seems to really like this stuff. Either that or
Well, that's...
the higher ups were involved with this stuff, and that's the term they use to name their whole organization off of. But comment down below. Let me know. Let us know what you think. X-Walk-Hill Bethelite, the lovely Serenity, signing out.